Hi friends, it's Jules. Welcome to Jules Reads. This is going to be a weekly recap of my reading and movies for the week ending of July 6th, 2025. I have missed being on BookTube and I miss the content creation and just keeping all of my book reading and movie stuff organized this way, so I'm going to get back into it. I hope to this week release first half of the year, my favorite books and movies of the first half of the year. And then I also want to do one of like a book haul of the books that I bought on vacation. I have some from New York City and I have some from my European trip that I would like to share with everybody. So let's get started right away with, I'm going to talk about the books that I finished this week, the books I bought this week, what I'm currently reading, and then I have 3 movies to talk about. So the first book I finished that I want to talk about is Heartwood by Amity Gaige. This is a signed copy by the author. I bought this in New York City at the Strand bookstore. And this is about a woman named Valerie who disappears in the Appalachian Trail, Appalachian Mountains. And it's told from 3 different perspectives, which I really did like that part of it. I was not a huge fan of the third perspective. I think her name is Lena. I wasn't a huge fan of that perspective. And when I first started the book, I loved it. I loved the way it was told through different perspectives and different, like there's letters. Valerie, the girl who disappears, is writing letters to her mom, and I really like that. I just thought it was going to get a little more gritty and dark, but it didn't go there. So that's what I was expecting, but it didn't go there. And then I didn't like the nature writing part of it, and I did not really attach to the main character, Valerie. So that might have been, that's probably on me. I always say you have to read a book at the right time and right place. It has to be the right moment in your life. And if you read that book at a totally different moment, it might affect you completely differently. But this one didn't hit that well for me. I'd give it a 3-star. But if you like different perspectives, a little bit of multimedia type where there's interviews, there's letters, that aspect I really did like. And I'm trying to see if I wrote down anything else. I think that's it. Okay, so let's jump into the next book I finished. I did on audio, and that was Thunder Bay by William Kent Krueger. That is the 7th book in the Cork O'Connor series. And Cork O'Connor is a Minnesotan former, I think, sheriff. And it's more kind of in rural communities. It's not the Twin Cities, which I have fallen in love with this year. Alan Eskin's writing, and his books all take place mostly in the Twin Cities. So both of those authors I love, especially if you live in Minnesota, you would love those authors. But Cork's friend Henry asks him to find his son, and his son ends up being in Canada working for, he's a very prominent person, industrialist, I think you would call him, but he's very reclusive. There is an attempt on Henry's life, and then the son is suspected for that. So Cork is kind of tasked with figuring out who done it type of situation. Cork is usually in his books somehow involved with a mystery, a disappearance or a murder, and he's solving it in the books. Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't my favorite Cork O'Connor, which it is highly, highly rated. So it might be a lot of people's favorite Cork O'Connor, but it didn't hit well for me. So again, maybe wrong time, wrong place. So we will see. I will continue on in the series. I think there's 19 at this point. So I have a long way to go. I'm doing all of them on audio. The audios are great. All right, so for books I bought, and then also I'm currently reading it, is The Lovely Bones. I picked this up because this is our book club pick for July. This is by Alice Sebold. I did get Invisalign. So if I talk funny, that is what's happening. I'm still getting used to it. And I started it. It's good. The first chapter is pretty disturbing, and I can see where a lot of people might fall off at that point. And if you have young daughters, I would maybe steer clear of this one, but I'm enjoying it. I have watched the movie numerous times. I'm a huge Stanley Tucci fan, and I like this. It's beautiful writing. The big difference I'm noticing right now between this and the movie is the picture of heaven. In the book, it's a little more realistic, more real world type of heaven, whereas in the movie they show it very mystical and fantasy type looking. And yeah, I like it. It's heavy, but it's beautiful writing. A lot of people, it says on the back, it's destined to become a classic in the vein of To Kill a Mockingbird. If you don't know what this book is about, I'll read the back for you. My name was Salmon, like the fish. First name Susie. I was 14 when I was murdered on December 6th, 1973. So begins the story of Susie Salmon, who is adjusting to her new home in heaven, a place that is not at all what she expected, even as she is watching life on Earth continue without her, her friends trading rumors about her disappearance, her killer trying to cover his tracks, her grief-stricken family unraveling. Out of unspeakable tragedy and loss, the Lovely Bones succeed miraculously in building a tale filled with hope, humor, suspense, even joy. So there you go. I am enjoying that one. The other ones I'm currently reading are, I have 3 more. The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and this was Robin Wall Kimmerer's book, Breeding Sweetgrass, was my favorite book of last year. And it's beautiful writing. She's an indigenous botanist. It's about nature. This is a beautiful little book. I highly recommend getting the actual physical book of it. It's tiny and there's beautiful illustrations in it. I just love it. I'm enjoying it. It's gorgeous. And next book I'm doing mostly on audio. I did start it on physical. Actually, I was doing both physical and listening to it at the same time. This is Oscar Wilde, The Picture of Dorian Gray. I've never read this before, and this is a lot of people's favorite. I'm loving it. It's beautiful writing. I had so many things highlighted. Let's see if I can find one. Ah, my dear Basil, that is exactly why I can feel it. Those who are faithful know only the trivial side of love. It is the faithless who know love's tragedies. So there's just a ton of beautiful sentences, loving it. And I only have a couple hours left in it, and I have yet to get to what I believe is the actual important part of the book. I will read the back for you. Oscar Wilde's alluring novel of decadence and sin was a success to scandal on publication. It follows Dorian Gray, who, enthralled by his own exquisite portrait, exchanges his soul for eternal youth and beauty. Influenced by his friend Lord Henry Wotton, he is drawn into a corrupt double life, indulging his desires in secret while remaining a gentleman in the eyes of polite society. Only his portrait bears the traces of his depravity. This definitive edition includes a selection of contemporary reviews condemning the novel's immorality. All right, I'm liking it. The next one, I haven't gotten too far in it. I am doing it on audio because it is such a chunker, and that's A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. This is a lot of people's favorite book of all time, so I'm excited to read it. I'm not very far in it. I'm doing it on audio, so I'll probably speed that up once I get done with the Oscar Wilde one. And this is about a family taking place in Brooklyn, I believe. Is it in the 30s? That year. I can't remember what year, and there's nothing on the back. It's early 1900s, I think. Oh yeah, 1921, 1912. There you go. I'll let you know more about this when I get further along in it. All right, the movies I want to talk about, the first 2 were from a YouTuber, and I forget her name now. It's a horror channel. She talks about horror movies and books, mostly movies, and I do love it when she talks about books. She'll even sometimes talk about puzzles, which I love. But these were ones that she recommended that she's watched recently. The first one was Ghost World, and this is from, I believe, 2001. It has Steve Buscemi, Scarlett Johansson, and Thora Birch. I really liked it. My husband did not. It's a very slow burn. There's not a lot of plot. It's very character-driven, which is my thing. And there's an age gap situation, which I don't think he was liking. And there is some problematic things that are said in it. But I just kind of bypassed that. It was 2001. Not that that's an excuse, but I think he was a little cringed by those things. And there, like I said, there's not a lot taking place. It's these two girls that just graduate high school and they're trying to maybe get an apartment together. The one is more solid on, has a solid footing, has a job, and the other one cannot find a job or keep a job. She's a little more sassy. And so it's just about their relationship. And then it's about one of the girls' relationships with Steve Buscemi, who's kind of this lonely guy, but they really connect over records and music. So I liked it, but my husband did not. So I don't know. And then Memories of Murder is a movie I watched and I really liked it. It's a Korean movie. It is Bong Joon-ho, who did Parasite. I loved Parasite. This is a little more, I would say, even than Parasite. Parasite, you watch it and it's calm. And then the second half of the movie, it's a whole other movie. It's not what you expect. Definitely, if you're going to watch Parasite, which I highly recommend, go into it not knowing anything. And you'll be like, holy crap, what is happening? This is not what I was expecting. Where this is Memories of Murder, you know what you're kind of watching from the very beginning. And it's based on a true serial killer in Korea. And then it's about the detectives trying to find this killer. And these women are being murdered, usually on a rainy night and usually wearing red. I don't know if that's part of the true story or not, but I was reading the trivia on IMDb and it was interesting that some of the things that they did in the movie, I can't even say too much because of spoilers, but I enjoyed it. There's some great humor in it, very mild humor, and there's some hard to watch stuff, and I really enjoyed it. He's a great filmmaker. This was from 2003, I believe, so it is quite older, but I enjoyed it. And then the one that we went to go see in the theater, which it had been a long time since we went to go see something in the theater, was F1, the movie, which is Brad Pitt and Damson Idris. It's my first time knowing that actor. And it's directed by Joseph Kosinski, who also directed Maverick. I really liked it. I am not into Formula One racing, but I might be now. Yeah, Brad Pitt, always charming, and there is a lot of racing in it. We saw it in the Dolby Sound Theater at our theater, and so it was very loud, but that was kind of cool. You could hear the cars, go by and go from one speaker to another. So that was a cool experience and great one to see in the theater. I don't think our home setup would be quite as fantastic as that was, but I highly recommend seeing that. If you liked Maverick, I would definitely check out F1. All right, that is all I have for this week. Hopefully I can bring you some good content coming up, and subscribe and like this if you haven't already, and I will chat with you guys soon. Take care.